Find out more. And now you get to hear more about Madison Thornton's extraordinary story of making it back home from a study abroad experience there in Italy. And Madison joins us today. Hey, Madison.
Hey, how are you?
Welcome back to Mississippi, girl.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be back in Mississippi.
Okay, so you're an Ole Miss graduate, you're a Tulane Medical Student, and you traveled to Italy to study abroad. So what took you overseas?
So at Tulane, I am an MD MPH student, and so I was taking a class for the Master's in Public Health program about food policy, and so that's why I was in Italy.
And then while everybody was enjoying their hot dogs and fireworks and all the things on 4th of July, although I don't know if Italy celebrates the 4th of July like we do here, but it kind of was a day you'll never forget. So what happened?
So basically what happened is we had a break in between our classes, and there was nearby where we were, and so a few of us girls were going to go swimming in the lake, and we just started walking to the lake, and we'd only been walking for like 30 seconds, and I started seeing spots, and I was like, maybe it's just really bright outside, whatever, and I just felt really weird, and I was like, come on, Madison, you just got to push through, you got to get to this lake, you can get in the cool water, and that's the last thing I remember, and then I just remember waking up to everybody saying, Madison, you passed out, can you hear us, can you feel us, can you feel us on your hands? Can you feel us? And it was honestly so scary. And my friend said that I just completely fell face forward on the ground, like no warning. And I was unresponsive for 2 whole minutes. And they said my pulse was very weak. But I'm just lucky to be here today.
So your friends must have gotten you to a hospital or some kind of clinic there. How
Yes.
did you get connected with your mom? I know she made it out to you quick, like in a hurry, like any good mom who has the resources would do.
Yes. So I remember like as soon as I was able to, they called 911 or whatever the Italy equivalent is immediately when it happened, and they got the real adults of the study abroad program to come and help me. And I just remember feeling very dizzy and nauseous, and they were just trying to help me sit up, and they took me in an ambulance to the hospital, and I FaceTimed my parents from the ambulance because I thought a text message wouldn't really cut it, but they were in the middle of cooking hamburgers and stuff for the 4th of July, and you just see me FaceTiming with blood streaming down my face, like, hey, guys, I'm on the way to the hospital. I passed out. And they're like, what? And my mom, she got on the next flight she could to be able to be with me because I've never passed out before, so we knew that this was probably pretty serious.
And so when your mom finally got there, what day did your mom get there, the 5th or the 6th?
She got there on that Wednesday, so I'm pretty sure that was the 6th, but it's been kind of hard to tell what day it is, honestly.
I totally understand. And unfortunately, you didn't necessarily get better real quickly. Kind of walk us through, Madison, how your health sort of changed over those first couple of days.
So basically, when I first went to the emergency room, the first thing they did was a CT scan of my head just to make sure that I didn't have any brain damage or anything from the fall, and that was clear. But my blood work showed seriously elevated troponin levels, which indicates heart damage. And then my echocardiogram showed a diminished ejection fraction. And so, but after the first day, I have felt relatively normal. But my every test about my heart has been abnormal. So it's been good that I feel normal, but that hasn't been reflected in everything about my heart. But once my mom got there, like, having a mom is like a cure in of itself. Like her being there with me, like, really helped with everything. And now that I'm back home, I've been able to get some more answers. And my doctor says, like, hopefully, like in the next few months, my cardiac function will be completely restored. So I think it's going to be okay.
But getting home was a little bit of a process, to say the least.
Oh, yeah.
So when did you start to realize, you and your mom, I think her name's Tracy, start to realize that maybe getting you back to, American medical treatment wasn't going to be as easy as, you would think?
So the hospital in Italy, they wanted to keep me there for 3 more weeks. And I was like, whoa, that's insane. But hear I'm possibly going to be discharged in the next couple of days and be able to recover at home with my family. And so Tulane had a policy with Global Rescue, which is a medical evacuation insurance company. And so once it was deemed safe for me to fly in an air ambulance, we had to begin the process of medically evacuating me home, which I flew home yesterday, which that was a crazy journey because I've never flown on a private plane, let alone an air ambulance, because I'm more of an economy girl. But so it was a very hard process, like to get everything lined up with Global Rescue and getting the Italy doctor on board and getting my doctor here on board and making sure that Forest General had a bed available for me. And just, like, it was a very logistical process, but my family and friends have been so supportive, and just everybody has been so supportive. And then even Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith, Senator Roger Wicker, Congressman Stephen Palazzo, and all of their aides at their offices even helped, like, to work with Global Rescue to get me home as fast as possible. So I'm truly thankful and blessed to have gotten home.
I even saw, you know how I heard about your story, Madison?
Yeah.
Was on Twitter. I saw where Erin Napier of HGTV's hometown out of Laurel, she had retweeted or tweeted something about your story asking for who had help or sort of connections. And I thought, because, I mean, obviously their connection there with Ole Miss, or just the fact, too, that you were a Mississippi girl needing help. And the more that I dug into your story, I thought, man, this is everything that makes Mississippi great, because I think a friend of your mom's had started a GoFundMe because it can't be cheap to get a medevac flight from Italy back to America. And within just a couple of days, your friends and family raised how much for your transportation home?
So they raised like $30,000 or something. But like I said, the transportation is actually covered by Tulane, and we so appreciate all of the support and people raising money for the GoFundMe and everything like that, and all the prayers and everything from everyone. And whatever money we don't need, we plan on donating to help somebody else. But when Erin Napier had tweeted that, I saw that. One of my friends texted me that, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is blown up so crazy. Like, I was just reading these tweets, like, at the hospital in Italy. I was like, this is wild.
Well, it is wild. And I think, if we've got one of our own over there and she wants to be back with her family and to get, adequate medical treatment, then let's get her back. And we did what we needed, or Mississippi did what they needed to do to make sure that happened. So your prognosis looks good, Madison, huh?
Yes. So they think it was a viral myocarditis, but unrelated to COVID-19. They think it's just another virus, because I already had COVID in January, and if it had been from COVID, this would have happened like in January rather than now. And I've tested negative for COVID this whole time, so they think it's just some other virus. But like, it doesn't matter what the etiology of the condition is, because the treatment path would be the same. And so the doctor is going to have me on medication as well. I'm going to have to wear a life vest for the next several months. And a life vest is like an external defibrillator. So if I have the arrhythmia again, the life vest can shock my heart back into rhythm before I have a cardiac arrest.
Well, will you be going into cardiology there with your studies at Tulane?
Well, we will see. Right now, I am just trying to take it one day at a time, and focus on the present. And also, I told all my classmates in medical school that I'm getting a head start on the cardiology module in the fall.
I totally agree with that. And to be fair, I expected to be chatting with your mom today, Tracy Madison, and she said she finally got to go home and have a real shower and take a nap. And so she forwarded me to you. So I know she is just mentally, physically exhausted, as well as I know your whole family is. Oh, yeah.
She has been my absolute warrior for me. Like, she's done the absolute most. Like, when I finally got to hug her, it felt like something after a movie. When I saw her and hugged her, like, that was like one of the best hugs I've ever had. Like, you never think something like this is going to happen to you, especially when you're like I'm 23 and I've never had any health problems in my entire life. But then it does happen to you. But just having so much support like I've had has been just so wonderful, and I can really, truly feel it.
Well, we're excited for you. We're glad that you're back home. I think it's cool that all your friends, family, and fellow Mississippians work to get you back where you belong. So speedy recovery to you.
Oh, thank you so much.
All righty. What a cool story. And right here on the brink of school starting back and all the parents thinking, well, nope, I'm not going to let my kid study abroad or go out. But yes, you should, because that, doesn't always happen and life's too short. And now they have a great story to share. How cool is that? All right, you guys stick with us. We got more for you.